be in sustainable finance nowadays is to respond to a true calling. After all, saving the planet and creating a more sustainable future requires long-term commitment. This we realized as we struggled with the lingering effects of the COVID-19 global pandemic and extreme weather disturbances like Super Typhoon Odette, which caused havoc in many parts of the Philippines in December 2021. If there is one lesson we universally learned from all these events, it is that we cannot solve everything alone. This is why the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas has been rallying support for lending or investing in green or sustainable projects. Fully committed to support the BSP's call, we at RCBC have been stepping up our contributions to the reduction of global warming. We have embarked on many pioneering efforts since creating our sustainable finance framework in 2019. All these you will find in our 2021 Impact Report, which I invite you to download and read on our website. Being at the forefront of sustainable finance is part and parcel of being a responsible financial institution. Because at RCBC, we know that the way we do business can lead to shaping a cleaner and fairer future that leaves no one behind. After all, sustainability is a shared responsibility, and doing good is not only good business, it is the right thing to do.
Banks have a role to play in the fight against climate change. This is especially true in the case of banks in the Philippines, a country considered most at risk from a climate crisis. Because of their exposure to sectors such as mining, energy, oil, and gas, Philippine banks face credit risks linked to environmental factors, particularly climate change. According to international credit rating agency Moody's, Philippine banks have one of the highest exposures to these sectors in the Asia-Pacific region. This is why Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation, or RCBC, has been one of the early adopters of the BSP's call for sustainable finance. As one of the leading financial institutions in the Philippines, we believe in our role as an enabler of environmentally and socially responsible business decisions. For the third year in a row since we issued our green and sustainability bonds, we have published our RCBC Impact Report. In this annual publication, we disclosed our green and social portfolio, their environmental and social impact, and their contribution to the achievement of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. These are the highlights of the report. We have raised more than $1 billion in green and sustainability bonds since we implemented our sustainable finance framework. Adding to our growing list of milestones in green and sustainability bonds issued is the dual tenor 17.87 billion peso ASEAN Sustainability Bond. This was the only Philippine peso-denominated sustainability bond issued in the country in 2021. It was also the largest in our bank's 61-year banking history. We used the proceeds from these bond issuances to refinance loans to our customers. The proceeds of the sustainability bonds are allocated to eligible green and eligible social projects. In 2021, our total portfolio of eligible green and social assets was significantly higher than in 2020. This demonstrates our commitment to sustainable financing. Here's where the proceeds went. Renewable energy and energy efficiency projects dominate the bank's sustainable portfolio. They account for more than half of RCBC's total sustainable portfolio in 2021, from 49% in 2020. These eligible sustainable projects were funded in 2021. Through these projects, we were able to meet 11 of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Here's how the projects we have funded have made environmental and social impacts, as well as contributed to the achievement of the UN SDGs. these projects were funded by loans that go through a vetting process under our environmental and social management system. On top of responsible lending, we also walk the talk towards building a low-carbon and climate-resilient future. Our home base is the RCBC Plaza, a LEED Gold-certified green building. In 2020, we also announced that we will no longer finance the construction of new coal-fired power projects in the Philippines. Our funding for renewable energy even increased by at least 25% in 2021 from 2020. And our efforts in promoting and practicing ESG principles have been recognized by several prestigious award-giving bodies.
There is one area in which banks play a critical role. It is sustainable development. This message has never been clearer than in a developing country like the Philippines, where the credit line that financial institutions extend also serves as a lifeline to many. It is through this lens that we view our role at RCBC as important. As one of the country's top 10 largest banks, RCBC is heeding the call of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas for financial institutions to be an enabler of environmentally and socially responsible business decisions. In fact, we are not just determined to heed the call, but to lead the charge. We take pride in being at the forefront of sustainable finance in the country. And while this opens up a world of possibilities for us at RCBC, we also recognize the enormous responsibility it entails. It requires major changes in all our businesses, sectors, and economic and social stakeholders. It demands changing human behavior and mindsets, as well as systems, infrastructure, and many more. But more than these, it calls for serious determination and steadfast commitment. The road ahead is long and anything but easy. RCBC cannot do it alone. We need you as our enduring partners in this long journey. Only when we have reached our final destination, a green and bright future for our children and the succeeding generations, can we claim that our sustainable innovations have truly delivered.
Our sustainability journey is just beginning. We can make a bigger impact on people, on society, and on the planet if you join us in our journey. We invite you to download an electronic copy of our 2021 Impact Report.